So, as we said, hybrid clubs, half iron, half wood. You tend to sort of set up with them like you would do any shot off the ground. So it's a wood or an iron off the ground. You want to play the golf ball back of your left heel. Doesn't want to be sort of where your drive would be, obviously, but don't want to be way too far back. It needs to be just left of centre, pretty much where you got it. There, so we're spot on there, okay? Cool. I think grip pressure, though, for me is going to be the biggest thing. I think we know ourselves when we get on the golf course, on the range, and we're not hitting the ball as well as you want to. Tension's definitely going to increase. It's just, that's just human nature. You're going to get frustration sort of kicks in and the grip gets tighter and tighter and tighter. When that grip does get tighter, as you come to the hitting area now, there's sort of a lifting sensation with the arm to try and scoop it up in the air. Yep. And we see the contact of this golf club now striking the ball's shooting off. Sort of low right there. And then when you want to try and get the golf ball up in the air like this, the more up you swing the golf club, the lower the golf ball goes. Right. And then when the ball then goes to the right, the more left you try and swing it, the further right it goes, because you're just catching right at the end of the golf club. So you're catching what we call the toe part of the club, it shoots off to the right. So once we can get nice and loose, once you've got to the top of the backswing now, we've got to distinctly move our hip over towards that left foot. And you'll see by your shadows you start moving down now. See the shadow moving? Mm-hmm. There's a definite shift now onto that left side. So you're in a position now where you're what we call covering the golf ball, your chest over the golf ball. So therefore your arc of your swing now is doing this, as opposed to before it was sort of coming back and lifting up. Right. Your mindset was get up in the air, whereas now it's like get the club to the ground. That's what it should be, getting the club striking down, getting the correct contact. And when you do that there now, we see a nice strike of the golf ball, the ball going towards target, and you can rotate through up onto that left side in a good position. That right foot now starting to rotate a bit more, and the hips for me has gone through a lot more than before, rotated there, lower half, top half. Much more on that left side, okay? But when you look at that golf club and you see, oh, not much angle on that club, there isn't much angle, okay? And you're not expecting to do that golf ball 200 foot up in the air. No. The idea of that golf club is to play it off a tee peg if your driver is misbehaving, or from the fairway to send it down the fairway 160 yards, 150 yards, and in play. If the lie isn't that good, you're probably not better off playing that club at maybe going somewhere like a 7 or an 8 iron, a more lofty club. Because we said, when you're coming the golf ball now, your club is coming the golf ball with a downward angle from about here, okay? That's sort of roughly your angle of the golf ball, about there. So you've got 19 degrees of loft, and you're coming down to the golf ball now with, say, 10 degrees of downward angle. You've now got 9 degrees of loft. If when your club hits the grass behind the golf ball and sort of stops and slows down here, there's your shaft. The hands just keep going, okay? So the shaft now, it de-lofts the club even more. Right. So the longer the grass, or the wetter the grass, or the worse the lie, the lower the ball's going to end up. So even a good strike, the ball's going to just pile drive 10 yards on the ground, gather loads of water around it, and not go very far. So if you're in the rough, get out on the fairway. If you're 200 yards away, you're better off hitting a ball 50 yards with a pitching wedge, sideways onto the fairway, or diagonally to the fairway, and then that 150. Rather than trying to hit the 150 club first, making a mess of it, hitting it 20 yards, then hitting that one again, now you've got 160, and then again and again and again, taking 4 shots to do it. Get out on the fairway, and again, just because we're 200 yards away, doesn't mean you have to hit the longest shot first. Hit the easiest shot. Always try and play your easiest shot. Establish some yardages, as we said, so somewhere between sort of 50 yards, maybe 80, and then 120. Okay, so if you were 200 yards away from the golf club, you go, okay, those two together, that's my 2 shots to green. It may well be the lie's poor, I'll do the 81 first, and then the 120. Doesn't matter. If you're 170 yards from the green, if you've got a fairly good lie in the rough, like the 120, give yourself 50. If it's a horrendous lie, hit the 50, give yourself 120. So you're always sort of playing to distances that you like to play, so you're making the game, well, as easy as possible. So if you're missing 4 par 3s on a golf course roughly, that's 14 holes, you would want those 3 distances there, ideally on 10, 12 holes if you can. Okay, there'll be some holes where you're further away, knock on the green, but for the majority, there'll be a shot somewhere to the green within those 3 yardages, okay? So try and play to them as best, well, whatever they may be. They might be 40, 70, 100, I don't know. You'll practice that and find, with a pitching wedge, a sand iron, maybe a 9-iron, shall we say, those 3 clubs, what swing you feel comfortable doing. You get that golf ball all the time, almost in your sleep, as we said, so you're just doing that almost on autopilot. Okay?
Yeah. Cool.
Happy with that hybrid then, yeah?
Yeah.
Driver's looking great, which is a good sign, and the fact that hybrid's actually going to be start improving. The driver's going well, you start using the right club around the green, that's all be coming down.
Cool.
Good man, right.
Excellent.